Hello, hello. How you folks doing? Such a pleasure to see you all today. Let me turn down this music a tiny bit. Change it in my headphones a little bit here too, because it's loud, at least for me. And the fact that I can't hear myself because I'm testing out another wireless kit. Hey, nature of the beast. Well, good evening, good morning, wherever you're from in the globe. My name is Tim Lee. Welcome to Legacy Art Studio. Today I'm drawing on my Huion 24 HD. I believe this is the HD. And gonna work on some more commission stuff. Working on Gerbers today, but I want to do some warm-ups and get into the swing of things. Now, of course, would love it very much if you guys considered hopping into the chat room. Ask your questions. And I'm going to go ahead and set my timer for an hour and a half. We're going to get this going. So a little warm up first, and then we'll get in with the goodness. All right? Let me make sure everything is playing nice with us here. It looks like it is for the moment. Let me also hit record here so I can record it to my computer. Let me check and make sure it's playing through. Yep, it sure is. Okay, without further ado, my friends, let's get into it. Actually, I was about to say without further ado. Let me show you a couple quick things. First off, I need to get our chat room up and running in the stream so that you guys can actually share your notes with everyone. So I'll change that here in a second. Also want to introduce you to the new side of my studio. You're looking at the streaming side. I also now have the you check that out when you get bored of me over here. Hit that like button though, and we will waste no more time. Let's get this chat room going and get started here. So let me go to my drawing hero screen. That's what I like to call it. And let me pop out our chat and copy this linkage. And once we copy it in here, then you guys will be able to chime in the video for everyone to see. And love having you guys here to make things more lively. Make sure to keep it clean, no foul content, no foul language. Just enjoy, have some fun, and be a part of the conversation. All right, there we go. Let's do our warm-ups. And I don't really have anything to warm up with here, so we're just gonna start the normal way. Just do a little scribble warm-up. Okay. Drawing in Clip Studio. I love Clip Studio. Clip Studio is so much fun, so smooth, so beautiful. It's a great software. So what we're doing here is a little scribble sketch, and the goal is to find the face or whatever in the sketch and just kind of quantify it a little bit. I already see it right here. So let me make a new layer over top, and this will be how we start our warm-up today. Okay, so maybe you guys can see this too. Here's the nose right there. You can even do a nostril off of this line, kind of like that. Okay, let me start dimming down the back layer so we can dig out the face. Always warm up, folks. Always warm up. Gotta warm up and get yourself ready, because sometimes inspiration isn't always there. So the piece we're going to be working on today is Diana, and Diana is no, not Diana. Excuse me. It's Gerbers of Montana. Yeah, that's funny. And so Gerbers of Montana is a piece that we've been working on for, I think, either one or two videos now. And it's been a week or two since we worked on it last. But unfortunately, I've just been really busy jumping off on other projects. Been very, very, very busy. And so we'll see how it pans out today. The one thing I did find out is I got a note from the guy in charge, and he saw the drawing so far, and he is a very kind gentleman and wants to make sure that he's doing good for the person involved in this caricature. So they've decided to not do a full body, but to move it into a face to waist kind of style. And it was that was actually something I originally suggested to him a while back when we were first discussing the idea. So we're going to move forward on that today and begin making the drawing that we've already done into that format and see what we get from there. So I think it's a very good move. I think it'll look better. And if you don't know the background of this, a previous employee created something rather similar. And so it's kind of important that their new design doesn't look like the old design. And so by doing this new theory, it's going to make it much easier to move forward. So I'm very, very thankful for that. I just had to kind of get my head in the game, and I've been jumping around a lot of different jobs and have not had the time. So this is a terrible warm-up, but it's a good way just to kind of loosen up your brain for a half a second and kind of see the unusual. And so we'll just put a few more moments into this. Today we're investing an hour and 30 minutes in this live stream. So when the live stream hits an hour and 30 minutes, I need to move on to another project. Lots to do. And like I said, if you get the chance, head over to Legacy Music Studio and take a look at the new song that I just made called The Island. And it's a really, really fun song. And I do a making of, if you will. So go and check that out when you get bored of me over here. And I appreciate it. Now, make sure you hop in that chat room. And if you absolutely love what I'm doing here, make sure to hit that like button. If you hate what I'm doing, hit that dislike button twice, please. All right? Cool. Okay, so I'm just doing some very quick little run-of-the-mill sketches here. Nothing crazy. I hate it. Absolutely hate it. But that's no surprise. Get a little cheek action back on the other side there. I find it's helpful to practice a little bit of cross-hatching and things like that, and try to learn how to dig depth out of your line work. Can you make something stand out with just scratches? Take the time to find out, and you might be a bit surprised. We could make this very, very 3D with just a few crosshatches. Like we can put this eye in shadow. Build up that shadow over the eye. I know I was always someone who kept everything very, very bright and vibrant, and I still do. It's kind of the style I'm known for. But the reality is, the white of your eye is not pure white. So shading the eye is just as important as shading the rest of the face. Crazy thought. Now, your eye might be the whitest part of your face, but it is still not the ultimate white. You get to save that for the highlights. All right, I hate this one, so let's go ahead and scrap it and move on to the next thing. I'm going to do one more just to help me really get loosened up. I wonder if I could find one in the same scribble. I kind of see something. Let's see if I can find it here. And let's see if I can turn it into something that would work. I'm not afraid to break off the lines because, I mean, they're just suggestions, but at the same time, I do kind of want to utilize them as much as possible just to help with, following a rule, but not making it the ultimate rule. So, like, I'm looking for pockets of lines here that can represent the eye sockets and the cheekbones. Is there anything over here for the cheekbones? This is kind of a sharp mode there, so that maybe not quite. But maybe this here would work. Coming out this way. And then look at this big flabby bit of cheek. Here's another one over here. Oh, I see something different coming out. Let's see, I'm going to go with this. So we're going to work this, and I'm going to go ahead and just cross that. And then maybe we'll do this. There we go. And let's see, go kind of like so. It looks like Zoe, my Great Dane. That's fun. Whenever you are dealing with artist block, which happens to all of us, and today I'm not motivated to draw. I'm not motivated to do this. But we're getting paid to do this. The jobs need to get done. Clients are waiting. They're being very patient. Sometimes you just need to force yourself into it. And so the motivation comes not from inspiration or desire, but from necessity and paying bills. So on those days when that happens, just do some things that just kind of help you loosen up, help you put the logistics aside, and get your feet a little wet. Hop in that chat room, leave a chat, tell me a little bit about the artist block that maybe you're experiencing, what kind of art you like to do, and tell me a little bit about your inspirations. Share your stories with me. I love talking with you about what you're inspired by, what you want to become, or just like talking about your future, and share a few tales of my years as a caricature artist. It's a lot of fun. So hang out and let's talk a little bit and have a good time together. If you've never been here before, this is a very dead channel, frankly, but at the same time, one that I am very pleased to come back to. And anytime I have work that needs to be drawn, I try to include you guys in that work and share that in a live stream, as long as I don't need to hide the work from my clientele, like it's a gift or wedding thing or anything like that. I also like sharing my stories of where I go with you. So I just shared a video of going to Whitefish and doing caricatures out in Whitefish, Montana. It was absolutely beautiful. I got a crazy room out there that was absolutely mind-boggling, and it was absolutely fantastic, and you can check out that video on the channel. All right, I hate this one too, but it's cute. I see the premise. I think we all kind of see the premise, so I think we should move on to some actual work. What do you think? So let's go ahead and delete these. I'm just going to close out this page and not save it. All right. So here is our gal that we're working on, and you can see we've put a lot of work. Overall body is in there now, and we're going to get started on this. Let me know how this audio sounds. I can't hear it myself. Let me know if the music's too loud or if it's okay. I am using a wireless pendant called a Mauno, and it's very, very nice. It's one of the nicer ones I have. I review a bunch of these, and so I think this one is kind of like the best of the bunch. And so I figured I would just, instead of using my nice microphone, that we'd test it. Eric, thank you so much. He says it sounds good, so thank you. All right, so this is going to be an interesting scenario. I think what I'm going to do first is I'm going to group everything that we've already painted together in a single layer, and then we'll begin the process of putting this in a pendant. And and then start figuring out where design would go around it. So it'll be kind of like, how would you even, like a shield, if you will, that we're going to be doing here. So let's not waste any more time. Let me see what we got here for layers. And my goal is that her arms, I'm probably going to have to redraw her arm on her hip. Possibly. We'll see. I want them to go outside the pendant. I want this to feel very 3D. So we'll have a little bit of graphic design going on here as well as drawing. So let's start by making a folder. I want to drop everything that we've done so far into that folder. And that's hiding behind my face, so I apologize about that. Trying to think if there would be a better place to put me here. Hang on a sec. I'll make a quick adjustment to my streaming stuff here. So we'll pop me up here. That way you guys can see the layers if you're curious about how I'm handling layering. And there you go. Hopefully that looks okay. Maybe we'll shrink me up a little bit tighter. There we go. All right. So now that we got this in this folder, I can close the folder and we can put a mask on it. So that way I can make changes to this. And I'm just going to start with making a layer that is going to be vectored. And I don't like, I prefer working in other softwares to create some of this, which I might do. But for now, I'm just going to go grab a balloon. I'm trying to think if, if I have anything similar, but I think I'm just going to use a rounded balloon. Hold down my shift, we'll drag out. Nope, that's not the shape I need. Ellipse balloon. There we go. So I'm thinking something like that. And then we'll start by tossing it behind her. And I'm going to line this up with what we're shooting for here. So I'm going to shrink it down. And I'm thinking we're going to do something kind of like this. I'm not sure. I'd like to cut off the top of her head just a tiny bit. And I want that to stick into the pendant area. So we're going to hit OK. And I don't want to scale down this document, so we're going to scale it up. We're going to go to change canvas size. I'm just going to add 2 or 3 inches, well, maybe like 2 inches to the height. So 4, we'll go 6. Got to get to my keyboard. There we go. So hopefully that'll give us a little more height to work with. Yeah, there we go. That way I can make adjustments to this as we go. Thank you for everyone who's hanging out. Appreciate that you're here. I know it's been a few days since I've done another live stream. Just got back from Whitefish, and that was quite a journey. Really beautiful, but pretty freaky. And you can see all that in the actual story. So we'll apply that transformation. And I'm just making it not perfect. I just want to have a template. I would probably go into... I don't use Adobe products anymore. I would probably use Affinity Photo or Affinity Designer to create this pendant now, because it's rather difficult to adjust these vectors. They don't select the same or adjust the same as they do in like is there a... I don't want an anchor tool. I want to move the whole thing. So let's go like this, and we'll try to go a little bigger. And there's just more functionality in other softwares that I think will help a little better. I kind of want to cut off at her waist and kind of like hide the pants. So I'm just going to layer this, hide this back just a tiny bit. And I really, really want her to protrude from it, kind of like the Looney Tunes yibbity, that's all folks, you know, that kind of a feeling is what we're kind of going for here. So I'm going to go here to our layer. I'm going to select the mask, and let's get our eraser out here. And the eraser in this case is not going to erase, it's going to just mask out what we have here. So that way, if I want to pull some back in, which I very much will, I'll be able to do that. But we'll start by knocking out the overall body as a whole. And then I can grab her caricature and stretch it to fit this a little better. Okay. And like I said, I would like to get rid of her hip region as much as possible. So I'm leaning towards something kind of like that. I think it'd be kind of cool if her hand was resting on the circle. So I might redraw the hand to rest on the circle or come out the other direction to be holding other stuff. We'll see. But let's go ahead and keep going here. Oh, Paint Studio is still loading here. There we go. Okay, let's get our eraser again. Let's go back to our mask. And I'm going to be a tiny bit more careful here while I doctor out that. And then we can just come right back in here with the paintbrush. And let's see, you'll see that it'll pop back in here. And I'm just going to do a rough job of this. I don't need it perfect, just enough to do the task. Hop in the chat room if you're watching and you got the time to talk. Tell me where you're from. Love hearing about where you guys are from. I know we've had some folks from Brazil recently on here. I think we've had some folks from Colombia and some other places. Always appreciate having you guys here. So I'm thinking what I would like to do is I'm going to erase this hand, but I mean like not erase it per se. Columbia, Tennessee. Columbia, Tennessee. Columbia, Tennessee. Tennessee has a Columbia? Tennessee has a Columbia? I think Tennessee... Does Tennessee have a Columbia? I don't want to assume... I was like, really? Tennessee, Columbia? Or you're from Columbia and then you're... I'm not sure, but yeah. Thank you, Eric. All right, so I do want her arm to swing outside that circle, so I'm going to leave that in there. It does, 45 minutes south of Nashville. Ah, that makes more sense. That makes a tiny bit more sense. I mean, because, like, I was born in Panama, Central America, overseas, and it's very, very interesting to be in Florida when I was living there and be like, yeah, there's a Panama in Florida. It's like, that feels wrong to say. They just don't have the Panama Canal at that one. It's a slightly different scenario. So right now all I'm doing here is I'm just filling in this hand so it kind of dissipates here. I'm just kind of covering it over with some gray. And as you can see, it's not blended at all. There's a lot of adjustment I'll have to do. So this is all the pre-sketch kind of phase to see what I want to do to make this work for us. And what I like to do in this scenario is I'll go back to my pencil and I'll select a different color entirely and I'll sketch in that color. So let's go ahead and start here. Well, thank you so much from Tennessee. I've been through there a couple times. I think Tennessee's absolutely beautiful. I hope it's not as cold as it's been up here. Up here in Montana, it's been a balmy negative 16 degrees on certain days. Walk outside, touch the doorknob, and literally burn your hand as you're touching the doorknob, and burn from extreme cold, which is a lovely feeling. I do not suggest it. It's not fun. And then, yeah, so hopefully it's a little bit warmer for you guys ever so slightly today. Thankfully, we're warming up a little. We've all been looking forward to this. It has warmed up to 20 degrees. But in Montana, you get what you can take. And so, yeah, it's warmed up just a tiny little bit. So there you go. So I'm kind of thinking something like that. I also wondered what would happen if we turned the arm the opposite direction. So this is where I'll make another layer. And I'll select a different color entirely just so I can visualize from a different perspective. And I thought it would be interesting if we took the arm up instead of down and either held the ring with the hand. So it'd be something kind of like this. Let's see, where would the thumb be in that scenario? It would be sticking out. So Let's put the thumb in here and build up the hand. Hey, it's Fayleaf. Hi, I was just thinking about you, and I was like, wait, where are you at? LOL. Well, that's great. That's awesome. Happy to be close by. Today, I had a bunch of other stuff that I was doing. Been working pretty hard on my music studio side of the room. I showed that a few minutes ago, but of course I will show it again. Hey, Google, turn on the music studio. Good, and then I can show you guys what that looks like. Sorry if any of you have Android and utilize Google, because yeah, I totally probably just wigged out your phones. Drawing Hero, there we go. So very excited to have that up and running. I live streamed a couple nights ago, 2 nights ago, and made a really fun song that's called The Island, and you can go and listen to that now on the Legacy Music Studio YouTube channel. So go and check that out. It's a fun little thing where I layered my voice, and I hate my voice, but I layered my voice like so many times I can't even begin to tell you. And yes, it was a fun night. I actually really enjoyed it. Some really fun music. So I've been writing music, producing music, you know, as a fun side thing for a long time now. So I enjoy that very much, and when I can live stream it and share it, then it helps to have a good setup over there. And at this point, I think I do. I've worked hard on it for about 3 days to get it built up that way. So, all right. So far, we got the hand going down. We got the hand going up. And I'm also wondering what would happen if we maybe tried a different tactic entirely. So let's get a different color entirely. And let's build the shoulder up here. And try and take the hand up. The arm and the hand up, kind of like this, and see if I could do something with that. Now, I'm not trying to get a Heil Hitler kind of scenario going on, but I was thinking if she could be holding a pillow bearing or something like that, which is one of the things that needs to happen. We could totally do something like that. And here's that pillow bearing, something like this. They use them for like axles on go-karts and things like that, and big machinery. So draw that in kind of like that, and then we'll build up the arm. Okay, and something kind of like that, and get the sleeve figured out there. I like the action in that look, so I might go that route. So that's 3 concepts that I have right there, and then I have all of this space to write in their verbiage that they were interested in, so we can put verbiage all through here, behind her head, around the back, around the corners, and upside down. And so there's lots of extra opportunities there. And then we could put in like a stator motor here. No, it wouldn't be an engine, it would be a motor. An electric motor, so we can draw something like that in here with the shaft coming out like that, and something of that nature, so that way we can show that they deal in multiple different things. We could put some bearings here maybe, and maybe I'll do like 2 or 3 bearings. Oops, Zoe's barking. Maybe the mailman's here. It'd be nice. Got a bunch of stuff coming in from Amazon. I like what we got going on. My wife and I are now Vine influencers. So we get sent a bunch of crazy stuff from Amazon, and we review it and leave our comments in the reviews, and free stuff you get to keep. And frankly, this lapel that I'm talking through right now was one of those things. And It's a lot of fun, but it takes a lot of work, and got a bunch of stuff coming in today. I had a bunch of stuff come in yesterday. It's kind of like Christmas every day in our house right now, where we've been very diligent reviewers on Amazon for many years, and so we were selected to take part in their program, and it's a fun little program because you dig through a whole bunch of garbage and you find some gold. Like, I got some binoculars that are absolutely crazy awesome. They actually do really good, and usually I've found them not to be very good. I have, I think, 5 or 6 different wireless microphone test settings, things that I've tested. Just a whole bunch of nonsense, and it's pretty fun. Pretty fun. So I really like this look. I think I really like the hand going up, holding that pillow bearing. And if it feels too Heil Hitler, which is not the purpose in the slightest, we can simply tilt the hand down easily enough. So, in my opinion, if you think about it and you feel like it's Heil Hitler, then change it now. So, if it gives you any kind of inkling, then just change it now. So that's what we'll go ahead and do. I'm just going to alter it now and just try to drop it down, maybe shrink it back a little bit, just so. There we go. Hopefully that might work a little better. And then to test the theory, we'll grab our eraser, which is not an eraser, and make it a little bigger and go right along her body line here. Bend the arm slightly up. Yeah, that's a possibility. We could bend it at the elbow. That's a good idea. So let's go ahead and implement that. So boom, do this right here. Select that, and then we just bend it up. Yeah, that's a great idea. I think that would be a good idea, and maybe that would help the overall look. I like that. That feels a little better. And then we could bring the entire arm down just a tiny bit more. So let's go ahead and pop that down. I've also been sick for the past few days. Now, I haven't been sick because when I saw that my wife was getting sick, I dosed up heavily on Emergency, which is what would you call it? A supplement that has like a ton of vitamin C and zinc and all kinds of stuff. And then I also take zinc on the side of that just to really make sure that I'm, dosed up real good. And I did pretty good. Have you been having a migraine and sinus-like symptoms? So my wife has been coughing intensively, and she has a reactive airway, so she deals with that. And she's a nurse, so she knows how to take care of herself pretty well. But she was definitely hacking a lot for a good 2 weeks. For me, I got a sore throat that stayed just a sore throat, and it stayed that way for. By the way, thanks for all the likes. I see a lot of likes here. That's lovely. I was able to, or was I? What was I saying? I was saying that I just had the sore throat, and that was about it. I mean, frankly, a little muscle weakness, no migraine, thankfully. Sinus, not quite. My wife got a lot of that. Like I said, I had the gentle version of it because I tried to duke it out with it, and I feel like I kind of did that pretty well. So, I'm thankful that panned out the way it did. It still wasn't fun, and it definitely slowed me down from doing other projects, but it did good enough for me to feel like I was actually getting away with it. So, all right, I like this look. I feel like it's good, so we're gonna go ahead and put some ink to this. All right, checking my pressures, checking my brush size, and my stabilization, and let's go ahead and bring some life to this. Alrighty. Oops. Let's see. Checking for text messages to make sure everyone's okay. Everyone seems fine. No one's sick today. My wife is doing good. I think last time I made a video, I was a little concerned about my father-in-law who's in the hospital. He's doing good. And everyone's doing good. The 2 pups are doing great. Everyone's healthy, and I think we're doing okay right now. So, got an annoying cough, but it wasn't a consistent cough, and then a migraine that went into the next day, and I felt slightly feverish. That stinks. That stinks. I thankfully did not feel feverish. I thought it was coming. I had heard about everyone who's fighting the flu, and so I really expected it, and nothing. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. So, good deal. Good. Fine now. And hopefully drawing some beautiful artwork, getting some work done. Okay, so I think I'm making those fingers a bit too big. Yeah, I went pretty small with the other ones, so let me shrink these down just a tiny bit. There we go. Okay. And then we'll draw in the bearing, which I probably should try to put a bit more design and thought into the bearing just to make sure I'm doing it right. But let's see. Let's do a 3D layer or a vector layer. And this is, once again, one of those things that I would almost prefer to design in a different software outside of Clip Studio. But let's see what happens here. I'm going to do it in red, and I will just build my form with this, and then I'll, let's see, fill color. What if I don't want to fill color? I don't know if I can do anything but. So that is a pillow, what they call a pillow bearing, a pillow bearing. So it's used for all different kinds of stuff. But it's this company sells like machinist parts and things, and ball bearings, and a whole bunch of nonsense. And so I need to design it in such a way where it looks proper. So let's duplicate this layer and move it. And this will be the other side of the bearing. Okay, let me send it back behind. Apply transformation. There we go. And then let's do... It almost would be better to have her hand open, palm up, but I think the original art had that, and if that's the case, I don't want to do that. Let's keep going with this one for now. So here I'll make a new layer, and I'm just going to line work in. Line work in this. So just to give some shape here. And then inside here will be the opening of the bearing, and the black gasket, and then the bearing there. So that should go like that. I wonder if there's a 3D model of that object in Clip Studio. It might not be a Sketchfab, and you can import. Nah, that's okay. I'm a little too old school. I prefer to do as much of it by hand as possible. I'm old school. It's a good suggestion, but and it would save me a lot of time, but I don't even color the way that I could in Clip Studio properly to save myself time. And I also feel, frankly, that every opportunity I have to learn how to improve in my drawing is important, so I try to take that time on the clock, if you will. Okay. There we go. There we are. And so I'm just shading in kind of what it needs to look like. here. And I'm thinking that will be maybe like a blue or a teal color, because that was the one that they showed me. And I have a reference photo around here somewhere. Let me see if I could show it to you guys. So, Gerbers of Montagna. So this is our... Let's go back here. Yeah, here it is right here. So this big bad boy is a pillow bearing. So there's going to be a bit more structural stuff to do to it, including that pipe vent, if that's what that is. I believe that's what that is. And I could use this and literally draw it over again, like trace it. And I'm trying to not even trace it. I would prefer to design it on occasion. If someone wanted a motorcycle or something intense, then I would trace some of that just when it's so big and so crazy, and I can warn the client, well, this is way too technical, and in all due respect, the only way I'm going to be able to get this to look like your bike or in a time frame that's going to be financially beneficial, I would need to trace this. And so I let them know if it comes down to that, where this is not going to be everything that you dreamed of if I have to if I sell you this piece, kind of a thing, So in this case, though, I feel like I can get away with drawing this pretty reasonably. Also used to do that with drones, because drones are really technical pieces of equipment, and these people build their own drones, so they want their own drone to be in their caricature, and that's a little challenging to do as well. So, all right, let's go ahead and take all this, and I'm going to put it back behind everything, and that way we can see how the hand wraps around it. That vent is going to pop into her hand, so I'm kind of curious what would happen if I were to rotate the entire thing so that the vent was sticking out. Kind of like that. Yeah, I think that kind of has a little bit of... The hand grip is weird, but we'll see. I might just leave it that way. I think I have enough to ink it, though, so let's go ahead and ink it. I'm going to ink it outside of the hand, just to play it safe. And then I can pull it back into the hand and place it as I want. But for now, we'll just go ahead and ink it outside. So let's do another layer. Grab this guy. Black. Let me zoom in on this. And now, let me see that bearing again. Okay, there's a little bit of an edge, but not quite what I was doing, so I'll just alter mine and that should fix it. It'll actually probably be easier to do it their way instead of my way, but we'll see. So we'll start by getting this. And as we come down here, I'm just going to cut in a little lower. Same here, just cut right in. Okay, up and over. Whoa. I think I'm gonna tighten up on my stabilization a little bit. Bring that down. And boom, boom, boom. Alright, I got texts coming in. Sorry guys, bear with me. Make sure I know what's going on. Alright, that'd be my dad. Hi, Dad. Sweet. Okay. Cool. Alright, so let's keep working here. Extend that arm out a bit more forward. And then we'll draw this. Okay. And then it's kind of like an anvil. So it's going to go like that. Keep it a little dirty. Try to make it look like I didn't perfectly copy it. Let's take this side down here, and then I will line that into that. There we go. And then here, I noticed a divot, so we'll put in that deviation, kind of like this. I feel like it went up and around, so we'll just leave it like that. And boom. You're like, hey, why aren't we drawing faces today? I thought you were a caricaturist. Well, caricaturists sometimes have to go a little further out there and do something a little bit more interesting. I mean, one of the only ways I make money in this business is I draw caricature logos. So that's one of the main money makers for me. And sometimes it can be a very, very, very tedious process. For instance, this client let me know that price was no object, which is a lovely thing, but that means that they're going to be picky with what they would like to have done. So that means that I will probably be planning on investing an awful lot of time in this piece to get it just right for their needs, which means money's going to take a while to get to you, and might not be the easiest gig or piece that you've done, you know. Nature of the business. Nature of the business. Okay, so and then the socket comes out and around. So let's go ahead and put that in there. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and build out the inner ring with that coming outwards. And then I'll build the socket off of that. And I would like to take it all the way to this point. It's not the smoothest circle ever. So I'm doing it kind of roughly, and then I'll see about how much I hate it. So far, I'm starting to dislike it more and more. Because I did I did circles to help me build out the other ones, but this one I'm doing by hand. And it's starting to look a little stupid, so we'll probably be adjusting that. Templating out your work sometimes is a big time saver. So I did not template this part out. So then this is going to go like that. And it's amazing how this very metal object is called a pillow bearing. Very, very metal object. Okay. So it ain't perfect, but I think we're going to be okay with it for the moment. I think it represents a pillow bearing fairly well. So zoom out there and take a look at it. That's really not that bad. So I'm not going to overthink it, and we're going to put it in place and maybe even put some color on it. So, well, let's do the color outside of the hand as well. That way all I have to do is shade it with the hand there. So let me turn off my other previous layers. Boom, boom, boom. What's this one? Okay, that's the other arm, which we can delete at this point because I think we're going to stick with this. And let's go ahead and get that teal, because I want it to be the same color as this one, that metal, that teal metal kind of look. So that's going to be kind of like a dirty metal feel, which is about there, I think. Okay, let's turn on and off that layer again. Boop, boop. And let's do a layer underneath it. So here, I'm going to try and do it the right way and see if I get in trouble or not. We're going to go ahead and tell this layer to be my reference layer. And then we'll go ahead and grab our fill bucket and just shoot this full of it. And that's what I was afraid of. So let's adjust. And we're going to apply to... Well, actually, I want to make sure the gap closes. Area scaling. So we're going to refer only to the reference layer. There we go. Yep, there we are. And then I think that the pillow itself was like that. And then I'm just going to do touch-ups. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. I need to get some more music. I have a bunch of selection I could pull from. I just haven't had the time to make, to download more to put in our playlist, but I'll get to it. One of these days I'll get to it. And then boop. Okay. And then we'll do the stock, also the vent with that. And I think that's like an oil vent or grease port. And then let's do one more, and this one's going to be blue, which should represent the blue label. I think it was blue. Yep, very blue. So let's do that. And there we go. And then fill bucket, boosh. All right, now we'll do some shaping here. Let's do all black, and I'm just going to doctor in that because I can. Let's go back over to the pillow bearing, and we'll start doing some general lighting technique on it. So let's get my airbrush. We're going to select the color that's there and go a touch brighter and make sure that it's locked, and I'll go ahead and touch in some points of highlight. Okay. Now, it won't be highlighted up once it's underneath her hand, but I'm going to do some general purpose stuff first, and then we'll figure out how to better tie it into her hand. Okay. So today, I got on the scale. When I started my diet, I was 246 pounds, heaviest I've ever been. I don't know how many days it's been. I've lost a bit of track, but I got on the scale this morning and I was 221 pounds. Super pleased with that. I would call that a little bit of success, so I am very, very thankful. And gonna keep going. I would like to see myself get back to in my adult years, for as long as I can remember, I do not remember being under 200 pounds. So I'm a big boy in muscle and in fat. So according to all the scales and things online, I'm supposed to be about 280 pounds. I don't think that's feasible with my body type, but I would like to try for maybe 190 and see how crazy skinny and small I am then, and then get into the gym. Right now, everything is diet. None of it's exercise at this point, except for some push-ups in the morning. And see if I can get myself down to a nice weight. And then when the weight starts to struggle to go lower, then I'll start heading to the gym and start doing some cardio to take it down even more. So that's the theory I have. And so far, so good. Do a protein drink every morning. And honestly, forget to eat the majority of the day, which is a terrible way to lose weight. I do not advise it. That is not the right way to lose weight. And so, thankfully, I think that protein shake accidentally kind of keeps me pretty solid for the majority of the day. And that's a nice surprise to get to the end of the day and realize that you haven't had any hunger pains. And and you got other people who are doing stuff like Ozempic and whatnot, and I just want to do it naturally. I don't want expensive drugs that could mess me up. Just not interested in that. All right, this line here is confusing to me. I think that's wrong. So I'm going to erase this here. Okay. And take that down there. There we go. And we'll re-ink this back in. And actually, no, I need to come a bit further this way and bring this block a little lower. Okay, and then grab my eraser carefully and knock this out. So, anyway, I'm looking forward to being small. The lowest number I have documented on any of my stuff from the past couple years is 219. So that's the lowest I got last time I tried losing weight, documented through an app that I have called Heavy, which is a weightlifting app. And I'm going to beat that by leaps and bounds this time, especially with this diet that I'm on that makes me not feel hungry at all. So totally rolling with it. It's going to happen. And we'll see how far I get this time around. I think I'll get pretty far. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and blend a little bit of this shade and shadow. And this part here too would be nice to kind of blend that as it comes around the corner and hits the light. There we go. Okay. Okay. Let's go ahead and then find our green, or whatever color this is, and do a little cleanup on the bottom now. All right, there we go. And let's get our shadow blue, which is hiding around here somewhere. You know, you're doing okay if you look at it without the ink, the line work, and you still go, hey, it looks like a pillow bearing. So I'm cool with that. Let's just erase that and zoom out, and that looks very good. I am very pleased with that. Nice. Very, very, very nice indeed. So let me go ahead and put that pillow bearing in its own folder. So this one, that one, that one, that one. Now it's not very metallic, so I'm going to do a few things to try and make it a tiny bit more metallic, but I want to protect it first by putting it in its own folder, preferably. So let's make sure. Okay, pull this up here, and all these guys go in there. Okay, now I can just trigger it on and off, and I won't lose track of it. So that's cool. And I'm terrible. I forget to name my layers just because I go so quickly. So yes, I do go searching through everything over and over and over again, but I'm ADHD. I'm just fast. So, okay. All right, so let's go back to this layer. I'm going to duplicate it, and then I'm going to select what's here. Come on, select from layer, create selection, and then I'm going to do a mask, and then I'm going to clear everything in that layer, so it just leaves the mask. We'll turn off the lock pixel layer. Now I won't mess up anything I had before while I add a little bit more highlight variable to this. So let's go a little bit brighter to really try to get that metallic look. And I'm gonna do an airbrush, but really the more metallic you want it to look, the more you want to make sure that that's a hard edge. So I'm gonna turn up my hardness of my brush, and that way it's still doing the airbrush thing, but it's gonna put harder edges on it. And then of course I'll layer over top of this and do an ultimate like pure white highlight to really make this thing pop. Okay, this right here is one that I want to make sure is super hit with light. So we'll tap that. And this, especially if this faces forward, we'll just kind of build that up just a tiny bit. And we'll do the same here. And here. Okay, that's going to be covered over by the hand, and so I'll put a shadow over top of that too. So I'm still trying to be careful with what I do up there because it won't be very useful. Okay, now I'm going to go with the hardest brush I have, which is my ink brush. And I'm just going to draw in just some reflective points. Okay. That was a big help. I like that. Just gotta not overdo it, but do it just enough. All right, I think that's good enough. Let's go ahead and put that pillow bearing in place, and then probably start inking out the hand and begin giving it some shape and form. So we'll go ahead and pop that in there and drop it beneath the hand layer. And just got to keep coming down here until we find, there we go, the overlap of the hand. Now, I like the idea of this nipple popping out over the thumb, so I'm probably going to go that route. That way there's some dynamic there. Like the fingers here could go back behind that bearing while this one stays in front. So there's some nice little tricks that will work out pretty well with this one, I think. We'll go ahead and begin erasing here. Make my brush a tiny bit bigger. Okay, there we go. So, and then I'm going to just leave it like that. And then I'm going to do it here. So that way, no, not that part. We'll let the hand cover over everything but the nipple. So let's go here. That's an interesting choice of words to use on a live stream. If that doesn't get me banned, I don't know what will. Okay, let's go ahead now and work on the skin for that hand. New layer. And I'm just going to grab a mid-tone from the face. And let's see where okay, so we're going to drag this one under here. And I can't do a fill on it because the layer isn't completed. So I'm just going to go ahead and paint it in by hand. Okay, seeing overlapping lines here, so I got to be careful with that with my ink layer, because of course the ink layer of the pillow bearing itself is inside the folder, which is underneath this. So if I was smart, I'd bring it above, and I might do that, but we'll see. For now, I'm just going to rush to paint this in and then do some cleanup around it and see what I like. So I'll just cover over that. Okay. And honestly, the arms need to be a bit thicker, but we'll see if I do that or not. Zoom out here, just get a feel for it. Okay. Let's find that ink layer, which should be the top layer here. Nope, it's not. Not that one. Okay, there. And we'll take this and we'll drag it above everything else. Okay. I'm going to put a mask layer over it. Close the color for that. And the mask layer will be specifically to erase the outline. Here we go. So that'll be fine just like that. We'll get rid of this little tick right there. Here we got to get rid of this one and this one. Oops. Got to be careful. So I'm going to go a little smaller here. There we go. So just like that. Yep. Nice. Okay, so pretty soon here we'll start doing a little bit more shading to the bearing to show it actually in her hand. Let me get my eraser out here and just fix this line for the fingers. Once again, checking both hands to make sure the fingers are good. The fingers on this hand are a little bigger, but I'm really not that concerned about it at the moment. So I'm going to roll with that. Let's go ahead and clean up this line here. Clean up this line here. Okay, and once we've done this, then we'll be able to just mask off or do a pixel lock on this layer, and then it'll be easier to paint in. Oops, wrong color. There we go. Checking my messages. Alrighty. Oh, this is an important email. Let me check this really quick. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Also, I think. Oh, wonderful. Excellent. Okay. So I have a client who is ordering a wedding, for me to go out to a wedding and do caricatures at her wedding. And I sent out the invoice yesterday, and I was wondering why it wasn't paid yesterday. And she got back to me and said, I didn't see it. Can you send it to me again? So I love that, because I was kind of wondering if it was going to be a promise that wasn't kept, and she's still there. So that makes me very, 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 very happy. What on earth happened? I don't know what happened. Okay, so there's that. So let's go forward. Where'd all my skin go? My skin disappeared. Oh, it turned off the layer. Okay. Dar. I don't know why, but okay. Okay, I'm finishing up on the skin, so I will email her back as soon as we get done with our stream. I only told myself that I was going to stream for an hour and a half. We are down to the last 23 minutes of this stream. So thank you so very much for hanging out. And of course, I'm still here. I'm not going anywhere quite yet. But if you enjoy it, please smack that like button for me and leave a comment. Leave a comment. Do both of those. Please, pretty please, because that is how I tell YouTube that I am worth being here. And I've been here for 15 years, people. Actually, probably longer on this channel. My other channel just hit 14 years old. So I've been here a very, 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 very long time. And we're still having to remind YouTube that we are humans and we deserve our attention that we get. And so you going and leaving a comment, even if it's just saying hi, your artwork sucks, I mean, like whatever you want to put, that is such a major necessity. And I am deeply grateful to you for doing that. So please do. It means the world for creatives like me who are making a living on doing this stuff, as well as being, business people on the side. YouTube has always been my desired career, and it's not easy. It's not easy. And so any extra help we can get is absolutely fantastic. So thank you very much in advance for whatever you choose to do. The good, the bad, the ugly, it's all how do you put it? Even if you leave a bad comment, even if you leave a mean comment, it still thankfully tells the algorithm that that they gotta relook at my stuff and have a different opinion than they do. So I appreciate it. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out what layer is causing the whiteout here, and I think it's probably this one. Okay, so we're going to go here, and we're going to get out our brush, go full black, so that way it shows all the color. And we're going to add this back in. So there's the sleeve. I can go back into the old layers and clean that out. So that'll be good. So we can come here first. Make sure that we got that first color in here all filled in. Perfect, just like that. And then I'm gonna go find the ink layer for this, which I'm not sure where that is at the moment. Let's see, here. Okay, so here I'm gonna go and grab this. We're gonna erase our ink lines for this sleeve. I need to clean up that line work a little bit more, but we'll get there. Get that cleaned up, and this one. Okay, I'm not sure which layer that is, so I'm just gonna keep, there we go, perfect. Now, this hand needs to go bye-bye. So I'm gonna start by getting rid of the fingers. All of them, bye-bye, bye-bye. There we go. And then I'm gonna ink in on the ink layer, which is up here. Let's ink in the side of her body now. Okay. And then I'm gonna come down, find the rest of her fingers, which I think are here. And we're gonna go ahead and erase those. And I would like to also erase the shadow, which is higher up, I think here, probably, yep. So let's get rid of the shadow for the fingers. And we'll come back in and recolor all that here in a minute. The other thing I want to do is, yeah, we did get our FBI director, didn't we? Mr. Patel, we got him. I was truly wondering. I was like, are they gonna? They're taking their sweet time. They're fighting to keep him out. Let the boy get to work. He's got stuff to do. 5149. Well, that's better than some of the other ones we've seen. It's amazing how it's just like one person, you know? Well, and like, who was it that JD, Vice President, had to put in his vote for the one vote? And I forget who that was, but yes. Oh, it was Hegseth? Hegseth? I forget his full name. I like him though. I like him a lot. I like his attitude and how he's running the Pentagon. That's looking pretty cool, in my opinion. So, from what little I know of politics, I'm really enjoying life right now. 24. Boom. There we go. All right. I mean, it's no surprise that the Democrat Party is I mean, and thankfully so. I mean, they should be in agreement, you know, and their votes prove it, you know. Now, do I like what they're voting on? You know, like what they're voting against? Absolutely not. But the reality is, if they are following their party's orders and doing as their party should, as a united front, they're going to all agree with each other. Do I like that? No. But I mean, the Republicans need that too. You know, it's not just one or the other. It's both. So I think this was at 24. I would prefer to see Republicans and Democrats have a united front. And when I was a kid, before I really was learning a lot about politics myself, I used to say, I feel like the President of the United States should not put down people and should be the unifying soul that makes everyone come together. And I still believe that, but then you see what the parties are doing to each other, and that's where that's not entirely a viable solution. So, but still, I still do think that it annoyed me as a kid watching our presidents, whether they're on the right or the left, it didn't matter what side that they were on, but to see them be like, well, it's the Democrats' fault, it's the Republicans' fault. I think Barack Obama used to say, D is for drive and P is for park or whatever, R is for reverse. So, and it's just very ununifying. But at the same time, there's a lot of people who feel very ununified right now because of the decisions that are being made in the White House. And I personally love those decisions, so I don't have much leg to speak on that front. But I'm very pleased with the action that we're seeing from everyone involved. All right, I'm noticing. There we go. That took care of that. Nice. Will that take care of this? Looks like it will. Nice. I would like to get rid of that, though. So, the two-party system kind of stinks. I'm not going to lie. Two-party system kind of stinks. There's a rap singer. His name is Tom McDonald. And I'm not I don't like rap very much, but he's got a couple songs out there that are just so accurate to what our country is like, what our country does to itself and things like that. And yeah, he's pretty sweet. His stuff is really, really, really good. And I feel like it's highly accurate. And the song "The System" that he sings is so poignant and truthful. I love it. Well, System. The System is definitely one of my top favorites. From him, I would say probably that might be my favorite. And of course, I got to know him because of the song that he made with Ben Shapiro. So seeing that one, I thought that was really cool, and see them working as a team. That was a really cool thing. So if you haven't seen that one, that one's funny in its own right, because you got a guy who is just a TV show host who's done very, very good for his network. I mean, he's doing incredible things with his network, but he's not a rapper, and here he is going like, "Hey, I'm doing this for fun, Let's make it a Billboard #1," and it was like a Billboard #1 for a while. So, just pretty cool to see, people succeeding in that, because the reality is this world is not built to give us success. This world is built to destroy us and have us destroy each other, and that's a shame. That's why I don't like working for other businesses or other people. I like working for myself, because I feel like my success is in the things that I complete and the things that I do, and I think it's exciting to see that you're capable of succeeding on your own. And no, I don't make a lot of money at all. But when you go and do a gig, or you got another wedding gig coming in, and you're looking at $600 or $700 for one day's worth of work, that's something you can take a lot of pride in, and a lot of and have a lot of joy in. And as long as your family backs you, like my wife backs me, that's the ultimate success. So, very much the ultimate success. And the system, like Tom talks about, definitely isn't that. And I admit, I'm a Christian, so I try to keep it clean. But there are a couple of his more dirty songs that I really like, that I honestly will not suggest publicly on which ones I like. But yeah, there's a couple out there that he has that are pretty raunchy when it comes to the topics that he's covering, and I sit there and I'm just dying in laughter on how good and true this stuff is, even though it's rather foul that I would never suggest my mother listen to or whatever, or I'd never suggest, I used to be a youth pastor, so it's a song that I wouldn't tell my youth to listen to as a way to learn what people should be doing. But yeah, no, he's got some really, really good stuff. All right, that looks pretty cool. Let's turn that to multiply. Yeah, that looks way better. All right, we got the pillow bearing in. I feel like that's looking pretty sweet. I'm all right with that. There needs to be more done to the arm, so I think that's where I'm going to focus my attention next, is getting that arm looking like the rest of the body here. The arm is really skinny, so I might need to widen it out a little bit more. And I might lift up the shoulder a bit higher too, because I feel like the shoulder is kind of low. So we've got a few adjustments to make, but that's okay. Let's see if that button is still programmed in here. I think I programmed in one of these guys to be the reverse button, didn't I? Let's see which one it is. I don't know what that one did. Oh, okay. Let's see. Multiply. There we go. So I don't know which button I programmed in to be my reverse button. And I'm afraid to just go clicking willy-nilly, but that's what I'm going to do. Okay. It's not that one. That's the rotate button. Okay, and then it just did that again, whatever G14 was on my system. Okay, that's zoom in, zoom out. I swear I programmed in a button for rotation. I mean, for flipping it. Well, and so I programmed it into my G13, my left-handed keyboard, and I don't remember. Maybe my programming isn't set. What is this on? It's on default profile. Oh, Clip Studio activated. Okay. I mean, and it's been working for everything else, so maybe I lost the programming. Maybe it didn't save. Okay, because I thought I programmed it to G8, but maybe I didn't. Maybe that's the rotation. Okay, that was rotation. That's what's going on there. So this one is zoom in, zoom out. So maybe G1. Huh. Okay, so no, we're not doing that. I hit Z and it wants to convert my layers. I'm like, no, don't you dare. Don't you do it. No, 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 no. All right, I'm going to do a shady thing, and we're going to warp the arm up. Ugh, I know I don't like what it's doing to my line work. That's kind of gross. Let's just try it this way. Okay. And then preferably I'd like to pull this part down more. Just thicken up this arm just a tiny bit more. And I want to get this shoulder up off of okay. That looks better. And I can hide the majority of that behind the hair, so I'm all right with that. I'm going to roll with that for now. So let's go ahead and fill in the skin. And I'm going to have to look through my presets and see what button I had programmed in. And then we're going to go with that. I'm going to go find the gray shirt. Unfortunately, I got about 5 minutes left here. So I'm just trying to crank out as much as I can before the live stream ends. Please put up with me for a minute while I do some self-sales. I forget what the proper term is. But thank you so very much for watching today. It was a pleasure to be with you guys. Always appreciate Faye Leaf. She has a lot of advice that she brings to the table. Things like, flipping the canvas, which I hate with all my guts, but she's right. And she also has some really incredible artwork herself. You can check it out on her Instagrams. I've been focusing a little bit more on my Instagram recently, so you can check that out, official_legacy studio. I have some new software that's going to let me put up a bunch more shorts and things like that. So I'll actually go and publish this video and other parts of this video to YouTube and Instagram. I forget the flip canvas too, Eric, and I hate it. Because once you do it, then you see how much you really screwed up. And then, of course, I have what is called the Legacy Studio Network. The Legacy Studio Network has 7 different YouTube channels, each one with a different purpose that fits my ADHD personality. So on and so forth. Like, if you want to see me do tech reviews, you can go to Legacy Tech Studio. See art? Legacy Art Studio. You want to see music being made? Legacy Music Studio. If you want to see podcasts when I get the chance to do them, and I've actually completely ripped down my entire podcast studio right now to build out the new music studio. So the podcast stuff, which is the Legacy Cast, is shut down at this moment, but I'll figure out how to bring it back. And then, of course, there's the Legacy Workshop Studio for the woodworking projects and tinkering that I do. And I'm sure I'm missing a page or two more. Oh, and then, yes, we did an 11-day cruise in the Caribbean. It was absolutely beautiful, and I shared all of those days, what it was like to be on a cruise for the first time, and just the whole journey of that. And we shared that on the one and only Beyond Legacy Studio. So please go support the cause of clean content on YouTube. That is what my channel's set first and foremost. As a Christian, I have to live up to a testimony that when I die, I want God to look at me and go, hey, good job, good and faithful servant. And keeping my content clean is first and foremost in my book. So anywhere you go, you will find clean content on the Legacy Studio Network. And finally, if you want to see some gaming, head over to Legacy Studio, my main page, where all of this got its start 14 years ago. Now, actually, this page was the original start, and then Legacy Studio came next. But 14 years ago, I started making videos on that channel, and that channel has blown over 10,000 subscribers, and it's doing very well as we make more content there, specifically on gaming right now, playing through the Myst series and all that wonderful good stuff. So that is going to wrap it up here in the last 3 minutes here. Thank you so very much from the bottom of my heart for all of you folks who come out and support. I know that I can't promise you guys when I'm going to be here, so this is why you get subscribed, and most importantly, most importantly of all, hit the dang bell button. Do it pretty please. I'm begging you from the bottom of my heart. If you want to see more content that I'm working on, if you want to see more artwork and learn my techniques that I share very, very freely on this channel, including the several thousand videos that I have teaching that here on the channel as well, please get subscribed and hit that bell icon so you get notified every single time that I get on here and I do what I do. And then, of course, there's our Discord, and you can find that in the link down below, I hope. If not, I'll have to dig that up and put it down there for you. I don't think it is here, actually. But our Discord has all of these videos in one place, not to mention a growing community of everyone. You can go in there and you can share your art. You can go in there and talk with everyone. And it's gotten quiet right now as I continue to wake it back up. But yes, it is going to be hopping again, and it will be hopping because you walk in there and you fill it with joy. So please go be a part of that. That's our Discord. I will make sure a link is in the description later after this is done. And of course, all that good stuff. If you want to order a caricature, you can do so at timleecaricatures.com. That's timleecaricatures.com. And yes, thank you so very much. And if you order a caricature from me and let me know you want to see it live, guess what? I'll do it right here on the live stream next time, and we'll have some more fun together right here. So thank you so very much, folks. With the last minute I have, I'm going to say my final goodbye here, and you guys know what I like to say. It means a lot to me. I've been saying the same ending every single time, and that is, my friends, Keep it crispy. 1 Tim 4:12. God bless you. I love you. And I'll see you next time right here on the Legacy Studio Network. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Eric, Fayleaf, y'all are awesome. The amazing Diana was on here a little bit ago as well. She says that she enjoys listening to my voice and falls asleep to my voice. Apparently, I am that boring. So thank you all for stopping into the live stream. Thank you for your likes, your comments, your subscriptions, and your love. And with that, I'll see you guys next time. All right.